What's up, YouTube? Hey, I wanted to make a video on Harbor Freight modifications made easy. You'll see a lot of different videos on how to do this same job, but this is the simplest way. So, a couple modifications I made. I use the front wheel chock mainly because I can put any bike on here. I mean, I work on Harleys or sport bikes or anything in between. But if I use this and I have to do, say, fork seals, then I can take my head lift stand, that one right there, and just lift the bike up, put it in there, lift the bike up. Then I can pull these pins, take this part out, pull that pin, take that part out, and then the front wheel is in the air and I can turn it left and right and do all the forks. So that's a Harbor Freight item too. What I did do is I cut the ends off because when I was doing oil changes, you know, originally this bar was like, I don't know, another 8 inches. I cut the end off because that's where the oil pan needed to go most of the time. So, and then another thing I did, I put retractable tie downs in these holes. So you just push the button, pull it out, tie it on, you know, whatever bike. Hit the red button, it comes in, or you can hit the red button and crank it in, either way. But I left them loose because if I'm doing like a sport bike, if I tie it down, they need to be angled in. If I'm doing a Harley, they need to be outright so I can grab onto the crash bars. So I got them, I believe off Amazon or eBay, I don't know. It's a retractable tie down, it's a common item. All right, so that's a couple of the mods. And then the main thing I did was put the pneumatic jack on it. So it's now pneumatic powered. And you know, people are coming in here and cutting this plate and moving this up and all this bullshit and building the cage around here. Man, you don't have to do any of that if you get your measurements right. So this is, I'm low tech here, so this is the jack. It's a 12-ton Pittsburgh. There's the item number from Harbor Freight. It's like $99. Now, it did have return springs on the side. You don't need those. The weight of the lift, even empty, is more than enough to retract the jack. So, all right, so what I did was try to get a little more light here. That's a little better, I guess. All right, so what I did, this is the jack. I took a 1/4 inch steel plate, and it's pretty much just the base of the jack, and I overlapped it 1 inch on each side. Okay, then the holes that the springs were in that I took out, I used that to bolt the jack to the plate. Okay, now these bolts only hold the jack up off the floor from going up and down, so it's not a structural thing, but you'll see. All right, so then, again, this is 1/4 inch. So then I took a 1/2 inch bar, solid steel, and welded it to the plate. Again, I'm low tech, so let me show you what I did. Okay, if this is the plate that I made for the jack, the dotted line is center. So my bar, the top of my bar is at the center of the plate, and then it goes down, okay? So it's not centered on the plate. The top of the bar is at the center, and then the bar goes down. What that does is gives you the right clearance you need from the floor for this jack to pivot. Okay, so here's the part where I don't know what their boggle is, but they're way overcomplicating this. And this is what they're messing up. So what they're doing is they're getting the spacing of the jack wrong. Okay, if you measure the stroke and what you needed closed, and then the full stroke, what you need open, you would find this jack is perfect. And it doesn't require any modifications. I mean, I've seen videos where guys are putting bigger wheels on. That's because they mess up this plate, this spacing here, and the jack is too low. Or they'll have to cut out the frame here, right here, to get the bar to go in all the way. Again, that's because they're messing up the stroke, the measurements of the stroke. All right, so back to this part. So 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch solid bar. Okay, here's the critical measurements. If you do these measurements, your stroke and everything will be right. Okay, this hole is 1/2 inch off of the edge of that bar. Okay, 1/2 inch is where the hole starts. The reason that is because I didn't want to have to drill through the weld that holds this together. Okay, this hole is 2 inches, the top of this hole is exactly 2 inches down, okay? So if you go by those measurements, it'll put this jack exactly where it needs to be, okay? Now, you know, I'm not perfect. Originally, I wanted to use a 3/4 inch bar, but they didn't have it, so, and I wanted to get this done. So I used the 1/2 inch bar. When I used the 1/2 inch bar, I noticed right here, under load, I was getting just a little bit of flex. I mean, maybe 1/4 inch, 3/16, just a little, but I didn't want any. So I took an extra piece of 1/4 inch and just kind of wedged it down in there between the bar, because you can see the space. Let me see. You can see the space of the bar from the center part. You see the space in between here. So, and then also, I forgot to mention, there's 2 tabs here that your factory ones bolt to, your factory jack. You do have to cut those off with a grinder and then just kind of grind them down. I actually left them up just a little bit, just kind of give me a little bit more support there. But that's actually the only mod you have to do, is remove those tabs. But I mean, there's guys that are cutting, you know, cutting into this plate, re-welding it. You know, are you willing to bet your life on your welding? I mean, I'm not a bad welder, but I just, you know, that just looked way too complicated. So that's the easy way to do this. Okay, I'm using the same exact jack that they do, same lift, the Harbor Freight. This is actually a customer's bike. I rebuilt the carbs. It's a GS, older GS 500. Pretty clean though. But, and then one more mod, and everybody does this. I did drill a hole and put a couple screws here. Keeps this plate from rattling. And then if I need to drop it out, I can just pull them screws out. So there you go. That's the lift done. All the mods made easy. Now I can't make a video without showing my baby. There's my RC51 SP2 right there. All original. Well, except the front turn signals, but I'm working on finding a set of those. So yeah, that's my baby. There's my track bike, my touring bike, my cruiser bike. Anyway, so that's it, man. I hope this helps somebody out. I hope makes the job easy for you. You know, you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to do anything. I mean, this goes all the way up and all the way down. Here, I'll show you. So, obviously, it's all the way up, okay? And, you know, of course, always use your safety bar because, you know, it's safer. So, all right. So now I'm gonna go up just to get enough slack. Get that bar out. Okay, now my release, I just drilled a hole. Let me grab my light. Drilled a hole in the side there. Put it on the valve. I put a spring and a cotter pin, and that just kind of spring loads the handle onto there. Sorry, my finger's in the way. Trying to do this one-handed. All right, so the lift is coming down, and I can make it go down faster, but I just want to show you that it goes all the way up and all the way down. So you'll hear it bottom out. And there it is. So that's factory height, all the way down, all the way up. If you follow them measurements and use that part number, makes this lift so much nicer. So hope this helps somebody. Speed safe. Have a good day.